Next we have Mapocosm with David Asher.
I think the place to start with Mapocosm is with the business model. And these are mobile apps. And the unique aspect is this is publishing to allow a small company, organization, or an author to get a mobile app published into the market very quickly and inexpensively. The best way to describe that is with a couple of examples. I'll go through them really quick and hopefully it'll be clear. 3 apps. The first app is a tour guide. This is historical information of Boston, the Freedom Trail, many of you probably know it, published as a mobile app. So a lot of the content within the Freedom Trail you can see as a map. You can look up various points of interest. You can dig down into photographs, photos. You can click on links, get information about the various places. Another app, this is finding Greyhound bus stations. Could be anywhere in the nation. They're all cataloged. Each you can search for one nearby and find out its phone number, call them up. And another app, this is a golf course. Golf courses have a geography, they're all T's and greens, and various little routes about them. For any one of the T's and greens, you can look up its pictures and get its play information and so on. 3 apps, what do these things have in common? They're all actually the same app. They have a various set of features, so you can dig down into content. You can get a street view if you're near a street, dig down into the photographs. Or location-based services, you can get directions to various points, or do local searches. I'm at a place and then I want to expand that and look for something else. All of that is in a single app. So those 3 apps that you saw are all based on the same exact software. So what this is a publishing model. Somebody that has geographic content can take Mapocosm and push that into the market as a unique app for them. So in this case, the unique content is developed on Google Maps. Anybody can go to Google Maps as become your content author for your geography, as any of these other apps were done. Mapocosm then takes that through a standard data feed, packages it with the standard Mapocosm software, and voila, a new app is available for the marketplace. So anybody can go, this is a picture of what you saw before is a couple little snapshots of the Freedom Trail apps. This is the content as you would edit it in Google Maps. Anybody can do that, it's an easy tool. Beyond that, what's interesting about it is this is a model for publishing, and there could be many different kinds of things. Think about situations that are geography. So many things we do in life are really geography-based. Very often we don't think about it that way. But being a standardized app software, instead of developing a whole new from the ground up custom application, could be very expensive, it takes a lot of expertise. In this case, the content provider, the small business, the organization, all they need to know is what is their content. Go to an easy tool like Google Maps, enter it, and then they can get their map produced. So, for example, something like a first night celebration, it would be very hard for a one-night event to justify spending the money for a custom mobile app. But for a few $100s to be able to go put your data, it is a geographic event. Even the first night it happens in time, but also in geography. With all the different venues and all the information, enter that into Google Maps, and for what fits into a normal marketing expense budget, you can then have that as a mobile app, even for one night, throw it away, and then move on and do something else. Something like our tour guide apps are basically used for one day. People pick it up because they're in Boston, they look for something, they run it for a day, and then they're done. Maybe they unload it. And it serves that purpose. But for the people, for an author, or for an organization, that you can get an mobile app done very cost effectively now becomes within your marketing budget to be able to do that. I have 60 seconds left, so I can even go a little further on Q&A if you want. So that's it. Yeah.
Can content creators set prices on their apps?
Yeah, question on pricing. Yes, they can do whatever they want with them. It could be free apps, it could be paid apps. I'm happy to host them on Mapocosm. We can do that. If somebody wants to basically buy the app and then host it themselves because of their own branding, that's fine as well. This is a way to get the app into the marketplace very, very inexpensively. I think those models will work.
that software will also be able to use the location of, let's say, your friends, or is it more of a map and we're putting the geographical locations on there?
Yeah, the question is, do you find friends? So I guess it's a broader question of social aspects to the map.
Yeah, would you be able to, for example, like there's an app where you're trying to get a group of tour guides, let's say, maybe have a group of people, and they're all trying to set up, like, let's say, a trip, you know.
Right,
Would
so
would you be able to access?
lots of stuff we could do on the roadmap, talking as product manager. I've implemented Twitter features so you can be at a place and tweet about it and such. Those will be integrated soon, and so on. There are some natural follow-ons depending on the vertical area. So these are very different kinds of places. Some of these different areas may have a natural kind of business tie-in for them, or a social tie-in. So what Mapocosm needs now is a little bit more experience uptake from a couple of these areas to find out what are the more interesting ones that will develop into the product set. So right now it's basically publishing a set of map content. And the interesting problem now is doing some marketing, getting some interesting customers in and expanding it, then we find out what they need. Question in the back?
If you specifically talk about golfing, how stylized can these maps be? I mean, in theory, the map, like, what kind of little gifts can you put in terms of just, they have a map and make it on the Google map, can you stylize it so, if you're at an amusement park, can you
Yes,
like,
icons can be anything.
uh-huh.
So some of the places that have this content that I can read, worldwide panoramas, a few different places.
I think with Disney World, like the map at Disney World is very specific, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can even actually, you can use, what's Picasa, for example, the Google site for uploading. It's geographic information. If you go with your camera and you take pictures of things, I can use that as a data source. Every one of your photos appears as its own little unique icon, as a little stamp. So, yeah, they could be categorized. So in the case of the Freedom Trail app, there were official sites and unofficial sites and restaurants that are color-coded, or they could be completely unique, whatever you need that satisfies. Yep,
I have two questions.
sure.
So one of them is like, what are you going to do about like free and open source software like PhoneGap that you can use to like submit, Google Maps into the App Store for free?
So the question is about PhoneGap. So there's a lot of access to maps on the web. Partly this was done to be able to have a more intimate phone-based experience for performance reasons. Partly to be able to travel a little bit more easily because there could be a lot of content, and especially for people who are roaming and touring, they may not want all the data charges. And also there's an aspect which is very simply to have an app published with a name means something because people will look for it. So if you're in Boston, you're looking for a tour guide, people will go to the App Store and look for Freedom Trail and up it pops. So having a generic tool where you can go look at somebody's map is a capability set, but that's maybe different from a consumer or a tourist trying to get access to something. So there's different reasons why you might actually want to publish an app. Second question?
Yeah, so if you customize it with Google Maps and you get a custom link that goes to it, so why would people want to download the app rather than just give out that link to connect to that map?
Yeah, so if you give out a link in Google Maps, then you have a browser-based experience. And you may be able to give out links, but for a lot of companies, it's more impactful if they're doing marketing and so on, to actually have an app that they can give them. And it's easier to find that links maybe in some situations just fine, and in many situations not. It's easy to tell somebody, go to the App Store and download this and you're done. And then you also get to plug in a lot more features that can be relevant to that market. Last minute, yes.
How are you getting users or talking to users about this? How are you getting people to see what content is on?
Well, it depends how you get people to adopt an app. Then that is the problem of whoever is the publisher, whoever has the content that I'm publishing, whatever their domain is. In the case of a tourist app, it happens that with zero marketing effort at all, people come to Boston, they look for a tourist app, and nothing pops, so it gets traffic. So that problem will change for every situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. And lastly, we have Autobike and Sean Simpson.